Forsythias are a wonderful herald of spring. Nice bright color after a long dreary winter. But the problem is they only last a couple of weeks and they turn green, and they're like that throughout the year. But now that the color is gone, the flowers have faded, it's the perfect time to prune the Forsythia. I got these particular Forsythia from FreeCycle. That's an online group where people give away stuff. And someone had these Forsythia at their home, and I went and I dug them up and I ended up planting them here. And this was like 5-6 years ago, and these were like straggly little twigs at the time when I planted them. So they've really grown and they've filled in, but they got really tall. And so last year I hacked them back. I want them to be at about the fence height. Not sure if you can see the fence in there, but I want them to be about fence height. And if you've got the property, the Forsythia, it's a beautiful showy plant, beautiful weeping branches that can spread out, and it's got a wonderful form if you've got the property for it. This is kind of constrained, so I want to keep it constrained behind my yard and in keeping with the size of the yard. So I do want to top it back a little bit more, and by pruning it also, it's going to have it fill out, because there are some areas where it's kind of bare in here, and so I want that all to fill in with flowers, so that next year and the years thereafter it'll be like this really thick hedge of yellow flowers come springtime. Now once the Forsythia stops flowering, that's when you want to go in and prune it. So we're all green here now, and I want to start taking it down and easing it back too, so that it's not so far out into the yard. It's not too bad, so it's not going to need to be too much done. I actually did a lot of the hacking last year, but I do want to keep it in check. There is one problem though, and I think I might have brought it on myself. This right here is a fungus. It's called the Forsythia phono-sis gall. I'll list it down below. Pardon my Latin. But it's on in several different areas, and there's no treatment for it. Once you have this on the plant, you've got to cut out the branch and get rid of it. There are some reasons that it can develop, but one of them can be using an unclean tool. Now I did hack this entire shrub line here, and it's only developed right in this section, so it might not be from my tools, but I went through with the pruning shears and I was just cutting away at this thing last year. So it's possible I introduced the fungus into the shrub. So I'm going to mix up a solution of bleach and water in a 10-to-1 ratio, and after each cut I'll be dunking the tools into the solution to make sure that I don't spread the fungus any further. And what you're supposed to do is basically cut back well below the fungus. They say at least 6 inches. So if you look over here, we've got this gall here, and so and you got some growth here. So I'm going to end up cutting off this whole branch right here to this growth, and I'm going to go through and just cut all this out, and then I'll go on and begin pruning back the shrub now. You can see where I pruned last year. This is the end, so it's actually started to grow out from there, which is nice. So that's what I want to happen. I want it to really start to thicken up in here, so I'm going to judiciously prune. But I'm going to have to go through here and carefully cut out all this waste and discard it so that it doesn't spread, because once a Forsythia has this gall, it can easily go throughout the entire shrub and kill the shrub. And I'm looking and I see more back in there. So I'm going to have a little bit of work ahead of me here to do that. And as I said, make sure that I clean my tools going. Apparently, when it overwinters, it survives a cold winter. We had a pretty cold winter this year. The more I look at this problem I have, I see it's really centered on this one shrub right here. So I'm going to start, actually, instead of just cutting back a couple of inches on these branches, I'm going to cut all the way back here and take this whole branch out, because there's a lot of branches coming off that have it on there. And I'll see how that progresses, because I see a few of the others that come off, they all seem to stem back to that one shrub. So I'm going to start by doing that, and if I need to, I'll just take out this shrub. I do see that we've got some new growth coming in here from the base. Might be able to take out the old wood and leave this new growth in, and hopefully that'll take care of the problem, because I even think that the stuff I see back there still stems from this one shrub. So I have my bypass shears and I've sharpened them up, and in here I have my bleach and water solution. So I'm just going to stick my blades in, and then we'll come back over here, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to go from here. I might need to get my loppers for this. Let's see. No, that was fine. So there was a lot of growth on here, but a lot of it also was the fungus. So again, we got another branch here that has it, and it also stems back to this one plant, so I'm going to cut that back as well. Yeah, this whole branch was covered in it. So I've gone through this section and cleaned out everything I could find of that gall. So what I'm going to do now is take this top down just a little bit further and make it more level. I mean, while there was a lot of wood that ended up being taken out, it created this big open area that actually will turn out to be a benefit. For one, it's going to allow new growth to come in, it's going to allow sunlight to come in, so it should benefit the plant overall. As I come along, dead branches like this, broken branches like this, I'll be taking them off as well, again, to improve the entire health of the plant. So back here, I want to be right around the top of the fence line here. So with this one that's growing up, I'm going to take it down a little ways, right to about here. Where am I? There we are. And that will then force out growth from those side branches. When I get finished, I'll come back and I'll show you the finished product. Yeah, it might be tough to see with the green backdrop, but I actually took off a whole bunch. This is the cuttings I did, and then some more over there, which I'll get rid of. Taking out a lot of the top. I didn't want to do too much, because don't want to harm the plant either. but I made it, I opened it up a lot. It's a lot more area now for the sun to come in. It should spur growth on it too. And then next year, if necessary, we can take it back a little bit further. Forsythias are a really nice springtime plant. Like I said, it kind of heralds the arrival of spring, and that nice shock of yellow color really brightens up a dreary landscape. All right, if you like what you see, give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you'd already do so, and click that notification bell, and that way you'll be notified right away when videos like this are posted. Okay, thanks for watching.